Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? I've lost the camera for some reason. Will it come back? No, it won't. How are we all doing? It seems dark in here for some reason. Why is it dark? And Alexa's going mad downstairs because I haven't taken my tablet. So I've got to go down and turn Alexa off and grab my tablet. And I've got to get my beer glass for Penguin's stash today. Let's just quieten that one down and zoom that one up. How are we all doing anyway? We've got lots in here. Colin is the first one I've got in, but I haven't been monitoring the chat. I've literally just turned it on, Colin. So you may be on top, or someone else may have got knocked off the top. Pepperidge, how you doing, mate? Present wrapping and radio fixing. Excellent. Gerard, how are you, mate? Great radio and great giveaway. This is brilliant. I've got two of these myself, and this one is better than both of them by a long shot. It's really absolutely minter it is. You stored an RPC1 MB, which is the same radio but without the cassette deck. That's a Sovereign 4, isn't it? Or was it Sovereign 5? I can't remember. It's either Sovereign 4 or Sovereign 5, Gerard, isn't it? Not used a cassette player in ages. Got to dig your old cassettes out and see what's on them. You think there's someone you and your friends did your own radio show? This is the thing. I love buying old cassette collections because you get radio shows on them for years ago, like back in the 80s and that. You know, radio shows that are long, long gone. That's great listening to all that stuff. I've got one here somewhere that somebody recorded for some chap's Christmas show, which I've played a few times. You know, gotta love the what's his name hits. Joe's still a great fan of cassettes. You've got an Iowa deck. I've still got to go over the Sony deck I bought at the Wootton Bassett meet. Harvey, how you doing, mate? Daniel, hi Daniel. Derek Cooper. George Christophe. He is a Northern Rambler. Matamble, Cymap, Thomas Howe. Found Sam's photo facts. Sam's photo facts are brilliant service manuals. They do service manuals for stuff we just can't get over here. I've had to buy some. There's a website that sells them. In fact, the last couple I've got directly from Sam's themselves as instant downloads. They're not cheap, but they're essential in some cases. Afternoon, Barry. Afternoon, Robert Cross. Still not feeling well. Afternoon, Benji. Rob Titheridge. Down the mines. Nick's in. Afternoon, Nick. Still catching up. 10 a.m. 80, how you doing, 80? Sumatran, I've had that, I think, when we used to have a Whittards where I used to live, but I haven't had it anyway. Look, I won my game, Mike, and I got 180. Can you believe it? I got a 180 last night and won my game, but overall we lost 4-2. So still, they are the top team in the league. So to be fair, that's a pretty good result against them. I'm still catching up. Pepperidge, popcorn or suitable snack at the ready, and an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage. It's all my fault, Harvey. Cheers, Thomas. Alexa and Siri are dedicated nags. Well, Alexa is still going on downstairs. I don't know if you can hear it. She'll just go on continuous until I tell her to shut up. She can't hear me up here, though. Afternoon, Brett and Mark J. and Daniel. Sovereign 4. Yeah, I thought it was. You had one but sold it on eBay. GT Jeff. Now this radio has come in, well, radio cassette has come in from GT Jeff. It's a very, very kind donation, and whoever wins it is going to be a lucky person, I can tell you that, because I think I might enter myself. Can I enter? Oh dear. Northern Rambler, there he is. You've got... Oh, you'd love a few tapes of Tommy Vance's Friday Rock Show. Now, I can't remember which one I've got. I can't remember which one I've got, Victor. I'll see if I can dig it out later when we get this one fired up. 22 for a single download of Sam's. Found the entire volume printed for $10. That's brilliant. Johnny, how are you, mate? Yes, with a sprained thumb as well. I don't know how I done it. I just threw them all the same and they all went in the same place. Harvey, giveaway will be Christmas Eve, Harvey. Tapes for your own amusement. Don't think it would be well received if it's played over the air. Yeah. Does Alexa switch to foul language? I don't know, but she's getting really impatient down there. So I'm going to leave you with the Christmas scene for a minute. I'm going to go and shut up Alexa. I'm going to go and get my beer can, beer tankard even. And I've also got to stick my badge on for Mr. Racing Demon. I haven't even got that on yet. It's been a bit of a manic afternoon, to be honest. Can you hear Alexa going? Alexa, stop. Thank you. Noisy bugger. Right, where have I put my badge? Coco, have you got the badge? Oh, my pint pot's in the sink. I haven't done the dishes yet. We're going to have an alternative one then today. We're going to have an alternative pint pot. And now I have seen my badge somewhere. So I've got a few chores left to do still. I've got to put the chickens away when it gets dark. There's my badge. I've got to cook some tea. So it won't be a late one today, but we will go on for a bit longer than normal. Being it's a Saturday. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Well, have I just shut Alexa up for you, have I? I mean, can anybody remember the tape that I've got? Because I have played it before. I don't think it's Tommy Vance, though. It's, let's get the badge on. There we are. Sorted. There you go, Mike, if you're watching. Doing the dishes, yeah. I can't remember who it was now, but I did put it out in the messenger chat. I still haven't got round to unsticking this this solder sucker yet. I tried sticking the thing back through the other way, but it's well and truly jammed. Just stick some isopropyl down there and give it a poking with a screwdriver. So, let's have a look. How's Penguin doing over there? Where is he? He's over there, but we can't see what he's got to offer because the camera's not right. Sorry, Penguin, I've not sorted your camera out either, have I? Oh, hello. I just collapsed it. There, that'll do. So let's go over and see Penguin. See what he's up to. There he is. Hello, Penguin. Right, mate. He hates me. Why does he hate me? Thanks, Thomas. This is my loudest Christmas shirt. Always goes down well. Loudest, most tackiest Christmas shirt I've got. Right, let's go and see what Mr. Penguin's got in number 17 for us. Right up the top there. Right up the top, Penguin, innit? You gonna let me have it? No. Yes, no. Oh, hang on. Looks like a bottle of wine. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wow. Boss Blizzard. Boss Blizzard. What do you think of that, Penguin? Rubbish. Really? Yeah. Watch you. Try pecking the beer then. You don't give him fish. Right. Let's have a look what we got then today from Mrs. Cruncher. The advent calendar. Right, where's the main camera? There he is. I really am a bit behind today, but there you go. Nothing new there, is there, really? Nothing new there, really. Well, never heard of this company before. Boss Brewing. Ever heard of Boss Brewing? 5%, so not mental. It says Christmas Spice Ale. Swag. Interesting. Where the hell is Boss Brewing? Never heard of that. Like a boss. Hashtag like a boss, apparently. That probably takes you to their website. Or Twitter. Boss Blizzard. Forget the 12 beers at Christmas. This is the only one you will need this year. It's copper coloured. Body brings your senses just enough Christmas spice to set the elf's bells jingling, whilst not being overbearing. Coming in at a nice strength so you don't embarrass yourself at the Christmas party. I don't know where Boss Brewing is. I'm just trying to see if I can find... Oh, here we go. Swansea. Another Welsh one. That Rob. Thank you for the super chat, mate. And for the one you did. I think you did one just now. Yes, thank you very much, Rob. Much appreciated. I do like the Christmas... I do like the Christmas backdrop. Right, let's find the all-important tool and let's get a boss open. So yeah, more Welsh. Whey! Ah, right, feisty. That's feisty. Claim to fame, Harvey. Well, it does. It sort of looks like a cider colour, really. It's a bit feisty, isn't it? Very fizzy, zesty. God, smells very strange, but in a nice way. So just mop up where I nearly got the beer on the radio. That would have been sacrilege, wouldn't it? So we did see this radio cassette a while ago when I did the video on Jeff's goodies. So Jeff gave me a lot of radios. Some were really good, some were spares, which is even better in some ways, because you can't buy spares for these anymore. Things like aerials and transformers. I have transformers and cores, etc. You just can't get them. So the only place you can get them is at out of other radios, which are no good or not restorable, which it isn't many really, because most of them can be restored. So cheers everybody, happy Christmas. Racing Demon, how you doing, Mike? I've got the badge on. Badge is on. Brownie points for the badge being on still there. Trouble is you can't see it because it's a bit far down my shirt really. But the shirt is very loud today, as you can see. Oh, I love this shirt. So, what was Johnny saying? Apparently the Boss Broom was founded in 2014. I've never heard of him before, Johnny. There's loads of these breweries that I haven't heard from that Mrs. Cruncher's managed to get me beers from. Mac Vision, good afternoon to you. Yeah. Still got it, Mike. Still got power. So why isn't my overhead camera working then? Any ideas? I'm going to have to unplug it and plug it back in again, aren't I? You can hear the shirt from there. Right, well we've got some advent calendars to it. Well, what an advent calendar! We've got to do the radio advent calendar from Ben and Sandra. So that's next on the agenda. There's not many days to go, is there? This is why I've done this giveaway one today. I didn't realise, but it's literally a week. It's a week to Christmas Eve, isn't it? Because I think Christmas Day is not this Sunday, the following Sunday, I think, isn't it? So my last stream will be next Saturday, so that'll be when this will be given away. And a little Panasonic to my members and Patreons. And I've got the jar. This is the jar that's going to have the components in that you're going to have to guess how many components. And I'm going to be crafty because I'm going to stick some SMD ones in there as well, just to fool you. Just to fool you. So it's going to be a difficult one to guess, but I could get thousands in there, couldn't I, if I wanted to? But it does mean I've got to count them all, so I'll have to get Mrs. Cruncher to count them as well to just adjudicate and make sure I've got the right amount. Because it's got to be official, isn't it? Right, number 17 is over here. I really don't know what's in this one because I haven't turned the page. Another resistor. Whoa. Another resistor. Timber. So what have we got to do with the resistor then? And we've got more rewiring to do. So it's a 220k red, yellow. And will later play an important part in adjusting the volume. For now, connect it to 9 volts in series with the LED. This results in a very low LED current. Is the brightness still sufficient? After all, the only purpose of the LED is to show that the radio is switched on. So have a look then. Be careful I don't rip these wires out because I'll have to read back through to find out where the hell they go. And I've just gone and dropped another capacitor on the bench. That's one that we had to start with. I don't know why they won't reuse that one. Well, this is not red, yellow at all. Neither of these are red, yellow. They're both the same. No, hang on. One's yellow, purple, red, and the other one's yellow, purple, orange. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I don't think either of those are 220k. Let's double check, just in case, you never know. Yeah, that one's well, it's probably 4.7k. I think that was the very first one, wasn't it? And what's this one here? So that's 40, 46, probably 47k, 46.5. So neither of them are correct. So I wonder, I think we've got a resistor been misplaced somewhere. So let's find a 220K. Now where's my Ks? Oh, there's Mrs. Cruncher's nail varnish. Mike! For a few CR2032s for my badge. It's been on every day, Mike, since. I haven't missed a badge day. Typical, I haven't got 220. I probably have somewhere deep. Must have a 220 somewhere. 220K, there we are. Well, it's a carbon comp, but that won't hurt, I don't think. So yeah, I'm not sure. We'll probably find that we need that resistor for another project, and they've mixed it up again, like they did that what was it? That voltage regulator. Right. Okay, so it looks like I've gone and moved stuff around again. Right. This has got to be right now, so let me get my book of words out. Let's zoom you in a bit. So there's my 220. Red, red, yellow. Okay, what on earth is going on here now? So we've got positive and negative. Yeah, that's still in the same place. We've still got that link. So we're taking out a resistor and adding another one in its place by the looks of it. Apart from that, it all looks the same. So we're just taking that one out. So a lower current affects the service life of the battery. It says the most important change concerns the aerial. Previously you have always used a wire with a loose end, but from now on you will use the largest possible wire loop you can build. To this end, use the rest of the available wire for a length of 20 centimeters, which you'll need for further modifications. Oh, except for 20 centimeters. Test the performance of the new aerial. In many cases, you will notice better reception. The aerial can be shaped to a larger or smaller loop. So what they're doing is they're now looping the antenna by the looks of it, which I mean, this is FM only, so how, I don't understand how that's going to be better than just a straight aerial, but you know, we'll try it. We will try it. Where's my bit of aerial wire then? So it goes from the A and just looped around back to ground. It does say we've got to leave 200 mil for other bits, so we'll cut a piece off. What's 200 mil? So 300 mil's a foot, isn't it? So it's got to be about. It's actually a fairly long bit, so we'll go there. I've got more wire if we need it. So I'm going to loop this around. It's got to go into the ground. There. Just like that. And then this might be a bit big for the holes. Oh no, it's in. We're in. Okay. So let's see if this wire does indeed improve the reception. I can't see, it's not exactly a loop, is it? It's more like a very odd hexagon. That's a bit better. That's a bit more loopish. So let's stick the battery in and see what happens. Okay, yeah, we've definitely got a duller LED now, look.
With the goals. Connor Bradley's missed an open goal. I think
a scan.
Connor Bradley as well.
Reception is actually okay.
Into this game somehow. Yeah, they're a yard off it at the moment. Pull it back. Giovanni Brown.
Well, there we are. That is working. It is actually working a bit better, strangely. I always thought FM needed to be vertically polarized, but I suppose connecting it to the ground maybe has improved things, perhaps. So there we are. I'm sure our 220k resistor will turn up at some stage, but not today. Not tonight, Josephine. Right. How are we all doing? Have I lost your interest? Harvey's taking it away by the looks of it. Harvey's going on about Jimmy Savile and all sorts on here. Crazy. Put the speaker in an empty cup. I think we've got some amplification coming soon. Would I ever restore modern radios or vintage radios the best? I do sort of restore modern radios, Rob. It depends how modern you mean. Some of the modern stuff is absolute junk, and I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole, but if people want me to repair it, I'll repair it, but you can't really restore it, because usually it's all plastic, and if the plastic has had it, then, you know, there's not much you can do. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this beauty. I just can't believe how nice this is. And we're giving it away. We're giving it away. Well, you can see the cassette door. Nicely lined up, Graham. So we'll probably have to try our Lord Montague tape in it, won't we? Because that doesn't seem to get us a copyright hit, although Churchill did. So, I mean, the camera's probably doing strange things with the grill there. But, it's absolutely immaculate. I think Jeff has refinished the sides as well, because these are absolutely shining, look. Eject. No cassette in it, though. There's no cassette. It's always nice when you get a cassette recorder and there's a cassette in it. And I've had quite a few like that. I had one off that one I got from Les, had a cassette in it. I've still got it somewhere, Les. Some sort of like 50s dance stuff. So yeah, this is the RPC1 cassette Sovereign, based on the Sovereign 4, as Jerry told us just now. And it's basically a Sovereign 4 with a cassette deck built into it. Now I know Nakamichi made some decks for Hacker. Whether this is a Nakamichi mechanism, I don't know. But it has got chrome dioxide on it as well, which is unusual for just a mono radio cassette. They normally haven't got that on them unless it's a high-end one. So it's got chrome dioxide on it. It's got a speaker, a microphone over here as well. It says mic. I don't know where the mic is. It says mic just there, but whether it's somewhere down here on the speaker, I don't know. I don't know. I have had a couple of these apart, so I should know really, shouldn't I? But it was a long time ago. That's my excuse. We've even got a full set of station markers, look. So we've got yellow and white down there. There's a couple of these. That one should be purple, I think, and one should be blue, but they do fade with age. We've got a full set of 8 station markers, and you basically just slide them along to whatever station you to mark. So if you want classic FM, stick it at 100. Radio 2, 88.1. Radio 1, 97. And I think 94 something is that Radio 4? I'm not sure. So yeah, nice to have those. We've got AFC button. We've got a radio cassette switch. Oscillator shift, I'm not sure. Oscillator shift. Is that for like stereo FM recording? I'm not sure. Normal chrome dioxide, bass and treble, volume on off, and we have got an original Hacker aerial as well, which again is a rarity and very, very pricey to replace. Well, you can't get them. You've basically got to stick a Chinese one in, or you've got to buy another set to steal it from. So this is an original aerial with the swivel jointlet and the proper Hacker top on it. I restored a Hacker Super Sovereign for someone once, and they bought a Sovereign 3 for 45 quid just to get the aerial. So that gives you an idea. This radio unrestored, they're usually about £99 on eBay unrestored. You've got to bear in mind this is restored. If I was selling that, it would be a lot more expensive than that, put it that way. A lot more expensive. It will play chrome tapes, Mike, yeah. Andrew Pitts, how you doing? Chris, although you no idea. How you doing, mate? Russie. How you doing, Russie? One had a 2-hour recording of a local NPR station. You have the Humph tape? Yes, I do. I have Humph somewhere. But I think I got stung for that as well, Jeff. Yeah, it is a nice one, Chris, isn't it? I think it's the only... Well, they did make a standalone cassette deck, because I've got one of those up in the loft that's a bit poorly. I need to sort out. But this one is much better. I'm okay, mate. Thank you. So Jeff, I believe, has restored this one. Jeff, is that correct? Ho times 3. Ho ho ho. In the background up here, yeah. Benji had one briefly. Any more of those Shell Audio Tour of the UK tapes? No, it's the only one I've got. I've recorded it for Chris, actually, who's having the cassette deck. I still haven't got around to packaging it up yet, Chris, so apologies if you're watching, mate. The wife just got home, going to catch you watching me. I'm sure she'll be okay. B, how you doing, mate? I used to make net mechanisms for Nakamichi, really? You've been looking at one of these. You could win it, Rob. You could win this. You've got to obviously be in it to win it. So let's have a closer look at the top, where you can see that it's absolutely immaculate. Now these can fade quite badly, but this one's pretty good. It's even all over, no scratches. We go up to the top. Hacker badge is mint. I mean, look at that thing. That is absolutely, it's like new. It is like new. I don't know how you did this, Jeff. You must have got yourself a really, really good good radio there. See if we can straighten that up a little bit. Yes, I'm the same, Chris, with Mrs. Cruncher. She puts up on me. Puts up with me. Thank you, Steve. How you doing, mate? How do you enter? Well, we're going to need to put a keyword in the comments section of this video, so as the software can find a winner. So we use pickawinner.com and stick the URL in there, push the button, and out will spit whoever's won it. Going to grab some hobgoblin. Deleted your browser history. Jeff is saying it's been in bits and has a new belt. It had some battery corrosion. So it's got a new belt as well. We don't even have to do the belt. Now, there was me thinking that, you know, that the most I'm probably going to have to do is just the belt. But Jeff's done the belt as well. Rolf, how you doing, mate? You can't take an engine apart. Oh, you can take an engine apart in the kitchen if you want to. I probably could if Mrs. Cruncher was out to work, but I'd have to get it cleaned up pretty sharpish. In fact, I was under orders today to do some cleaning, and I haven't done it. I haven't done it, so I've got to get off of here and get a little bit of tidying up done. My tidying up's not the same as Mrs. Cruncher's tidying up, mind you. So the wood, it's obviously teak ends. I think if you've given them some Danish oil. So here's our buttons. Let's get my head out of the way. So we've got our normal chrome dioxide. We've got this OSC shift. Now, I'm not 100% sure what that is. Some of them are, some of the old cassette decks had like a beat cancel button. Whether that is that, I don't know. And this is our radio and cassette switch. AFC. Then we've got our band buttons. So it's got FM. Is it going to focus? Come on, come back. There you go, come back. Hello. Oh, camera. There we go. AFC, FM, medium wave and long wave. And of course it's got the, where are we? It's got the raw warrant on it. Is that the Queen or the Queen Mother? Or to Her Majesty the Queen. So that's the Queen's warrant, or late Queen. And there's our antenna. Only goes up to 104 on FM. So any people with local radio stations probably, well, local radio usually comes in sort of above 100, doesn't it? Usually 100 to 108 is reserved for local radio stuff, but standard medium and long wave on it. No difference there. But say we have got this mic. It says mic, but I don't know where it is. I'm just trying to see if there's a slot anywhere, but I can't see a slot. It points down. It points downwards, the arrows. So there must be one in the speaker here, underneath the speaker cloth somewhere. So looking around the back. Looking around the back, we have got the correct bezel around there. Sometimes these are missing. They're not stuck in. They're usually a press fit. You can see that one's moving a little bit, but they do. We've got a rear grille, which is firmly attached. I don't even have to do the grille. I don't even have to do the grill. It's also got the mains socket bezel as well. Now these go missing for a past time as well because they drop out like that. But this one has got it. I've still got to do Patrick one for his Super Sovereign, and it's got the aluminium bezel around it. Looking good, very good. Going to grab Goblin. You should keep one. I have got 3, Rob, so I have got one myself. Well, Steve's saying leave it. Leave it. What? Leave it alone. It is nice, isn't it? GT Core, you think, Jeff? So Nick is saying it changes the bias frequency to avoid interference when recording on medium wave or long wave. Oh, thank you, Nick. It's not Halloween. Let's see if it works first off. Do we not know if it works, Jeff? I know this. I've got one of these in for repair, actually. I've got one in for repair from a chap in South Molton that I picked up on the way back from Wootton Bassett. So I've got one here in a carrier bag for repair that's not working. So that'll be a future video. He doesn't want it done to the new year, though, so I would have done it already. But so Matambale is a nice set mic. You thought the adjustable bias frequency was in place to avoid intermod with 19 kilohertz pilot frequencies on FM. I think that's the MPX filter, isn't it? Matambale, they call that. Some of the higher end decks have got that. Mic is above the speaker top right. Cheers, Brett. Harmonics of the bias oscillator could interfere with any AM station. Okay. Bezel. Battery buffers. It is. Let's have a look in the guts of one. Let's have a look in the guts of one. Again, I haven't opened this up. We may have opened it up previously. We've got a bit of backing cloth to refix there, but that's just a PVA job. It's pretty straightforward. So that'll glue back fine. No issues there. Let's have a look what else we've got. So it's obviously a mains powered set as well, which is always a bonus with a cassette deck. You do want mains because they eat the batteries. Still got it's got Hacker Sound. So this is one of the later Hacker Sound versions. I need to glue these labels back on for you as well. We've got a missing battery snap, so I need to pop one of those in. Not that you're going to use it on batteries, I don't expect. So I need to pop you another battery snap in there, like we did with Rob's radio. So that's fairly straightforward. But one of the problems with these sets, and I bought one spares or repairs recently that still isn't working properly. Cheers, Rob. Good luck, mate. One of the problems with these is these edge connectors. They've got sort of early edge connectors, and they can be a little bit scratchy, and they can certainly stop these working for sure, because my other one is not working at the moment, and it's down to these edge connectors, and some of the wires are broken off. There's our belt in behind. Did you buy a belt specifically for this one, Jeff, or did you actually get one, find one yourself, or measure it up? I'm just trying to see how the speed adjustment's done on this thing. Or is there a speed adjustment? I don't know. So whacking great speaker inside there, as you can see peeking through, look. No battery tray, no. There isn't a battery tray. Do you really want a battery tray? Because I've got them. I've got battery trays, so I can stick a battery tray in it. No problemo. I don't know where they are, actually. They're over that way. They're over there. I can't get to there because I've got too many advent calendars and Mrs. Cruncher's Christmas presents in the way. Got to look after Mrs. Cruncher. Just have a quick look. I might be able to lay my hands on one. Is that no? That's CPC. Yeah, I can see them. They're just a little bit out of reach. I've got a white one there, but yeah, the replacement ones are black, not white, but they are. Ah, there we go. There's one right in front of me eyes. So just for you, Brett, if you want a battery tray, I can sort you a battery tray out. This is a brand new one. It comes with wires. Instead of battery snaps, but that can be adapted. There you are. It's got a battery. It's got a battery tray. Brett, it's got a battery tray. So there you go. I'll chuck that in as well. Might as well keep it as intended. I didn't realise that I didn't have that actually, but say I haven't really opened it before. So it might be as well to just hardwire that directly to that battery tray, being it's pre-wired, look. So I could wire that straight in, so as it'll still come out. Okay. So it will have a battery tray fitted. So I mean, to me, it looks like it's going to work. It's a 12-volt set, isn't it? 3, 6, 9, 12. It's a 12-volt set. So let's power it up using the battery snap for now. I'll leave the back off for a bit. And we'll see if we can find Nana Muscori for you, because I know you're all Nana Muscori fans. I did find a Pam Ayres tape as well the other day. Pam Ayres, anybody remember Pam Ayres? Well, she's still going, I think, isn't she? Pam Ayres. Frankie's hanging up his boots. Did you a few favours at Ascot when he got his 7? You had 4 of them. Whoa, nice one, Mike. You were the man. You were the man for racing. Horse racing. RS. Oh, right, S. Okay, yeah, it was CPC, wasn't it? It was the AV113, wasn't it? I think. Daniel's been messing with his Roberts Rambler. Speaker is the same or very similar to the Hunter. That's why it's such superb sound. It's a big case as well, isn't it? So it's always going to sound good. I mean, I've got a Sovereign 4, I think. It's either a 4 or a 5 in the other room. Any bishops in there? There is some bishops in the house, Dids. I have got some bishops for tomorrow. That voice. What voice is that, MacVision? My voice? Let's admit you bought 2 hackers on Graham's recommendation and you've not been disappointed. Pam Ailes. I've got a little poem, maybe. She was sort of like Devonshire, wasn't she? She had a very strange accent, actually. I don't think she was actually Devonshire, whether she was putting it on, I don't know. Made famous on Opportunity Knocks. But yeah, I've got a cassette of hers somewhere. I think I've got a Billy Connolly one. I've got loads of random cassettes. It's great buying them on. I mean, if you buy them on eBay, they're sort of just toss-outs that people don't really want. But if you buy them on Facebook Marketplace, you can get some really nice collections. And as I say, I bought that lot of tapes. Can you remember the tapes I bought at the British Vintage Wireless Society? I haven't shown you all them yet, but I did show you Finest Hour, and there's that Irish Protestant sort of tape. But I believe these are the tapes that I got. I've got a very nice collection of Queen tapes that were in that bag. Actually 5 Queen tapes. I do like a bit of Queen, and they're all in their original covers, look. So all you Queen fans. Made in Heaven, Innuendo, Greatest Hits, and Greatest Hits 2. I remember Greatest Hits. I actually had that back in the day. I remember that album cover. That's a sort of classic album cover. Most people have probably got that in their old stash. They might not admit to it. Queen rocks. So yeah, that was a great find. That was a little carrier bag in underneath, and I missed out on a load of really good tapes. Someone was looking through them as I got there, and I thought, don't buy them, don't buy them, don't buy them. And he bought them. Les Miserables. Original London cast recording. I wonder if that's got copyright. Chrome as well, look. We've got a Chrome tape we can try there. Oh, here we go. The Safari Sound Band. The Best of African Songs. Probably copyright. May well be. Music is Forever by Klaus Wunderlich. No comments about the Wunderlich, please. Ha! Klaus and his Wunderlickers. And we got another string of hot hits. The Shadows. Nice. Guns N' Roses. I think my mate's going to probably have that on. He's a bit of a Guns N' Roses guy. This is a single. Oh, there we go. It's a cassette single. You don't see many of those about. Chris Rea, Road to Hell. Home recording. Francis Albert Sinatra and Antonio Carlos Jobim. The Girl from Ipanema. I remember that. I bet that's copyrighted. We all know these people, don't we? Richard Clayderman. Richard Clayderman. Guys, I haven't heard that name for a long time. Treasure Island, cassette 2. So that must be an audio book. That would be a good one to play, actually. Should we listen to Treasure Island? Listening for Pleasure. 1977, that one. Oh, old school, old school. And the last one is The Very Best of Disney. The Very Best of Disney, eh? That will definitely be copyrighted. So yeah, that was the big find in there, really. Those Queen tapes. And as I say, I've got 5 of them. But if anybody wants any of those taping off, they need to be pretty quick, because that double cassette is going to go into Chris over in the US of A very soon. So it's the only way I've got taping to tape at the moment. I did record both of those tapes for Chris, the Finest Hour and the Shell Road one. So let's just see if this thing works first, shall we? Well, this thing, this amazing radio cassette. This has got to be late 80s, early 90s, isn't it? I do have somewhere. I have a service manual for this, a photocopied one from the factory, I believe. It was given to me by Rolf, who used to work for him. So let's connect up. See what voltage we're on first. We don't stick 18 volts up it, do we? So we want 12 volts. Set the current limit down. Right, hooked up. Oh, hang on. But the current limit set down too low. So who thinks it's going to work? Is it going to work? Is he going to work or not? So let's have a quick read of the the chat. Got 2 Sovereign 2s, a Hunter and a Sovereign here. All amazing. Well, you could have a cassette Sovereign, Daniel, if you enter. You never know. Oxfordshire, right, okay. Yeah, Pam's voice was strange, yeah. So, I'm with you now. Yeah, she did have a very strange voice, didn't she? So, Oxfordshire, Mike Cass is saying Oxfordshire. Harvey still remembers a show she won on. She was in the RAF. You're a bunny rabbit. I sits here in my hutch. Yeah. She does sort of like put on a Devonshire accent, doesn't she, I think? Afternoon, Lee. How are you? No worries, mate. We're just talking about this radio that you may be able to win, Lee. You never know. No racing lately. All the meetings called off because of frost. I'm not surprised, Mike. There is Chris. Talk of the man, and there he is. You have what, Harvey? Her poem made her famous. Oh, I do wish I looked after me teeth. Claus plays the electric organ. Who's Claus? Or you on about Santa Claus? Or Richard Clayderman? I don't know. Or was it that other one? The other random one that I found. Not Francis Albert Sinatra and Antonio Carlos Jobim. not to mention the Klaus Wunderlich. Music is Forever. Is that the one that you mean, Klaus? A Worsey organ. Road to Hell is a great album. Have I got that here? I haven't got that here. I don't think I've got it here, Mike. Treasure Island with Spike Milligan. I don't know who's narrating it actually, but it's an audio book, isn't it? Richard was better than Bobby Crush. I remember Bobby Crush. He was the piano man, wasn't he? Just William, read by Kenneth Williams. Yeah, I remember he did that on the telly, didn't he? We'll do that later, Rob. 78-ish, 77 to 79. Really? Is it that old? Or are we talking about something else? Too beautiful not to. It will work. It will work. It's going to work. It's a worker, but the cassette will need a look at. Signs of Life. You haven't got a comments box. A comments box, Johnny? You need more of the Shell tour tapes. I haven't Googled them, but they must be available. I'll have to have a look on Discogs. You might be able to get some on there. Joe Meek came from Newent in Gloucestershire. Top tech in the 80s, that was. Oh, the Worsey. Sovereign 4 is 77 to 79, right? Okay. Let's turn them on then. So let's put him on radio. We'll go on FM, give it half a chance to work. I'll just connect up to that now, save putting the aerial up into my pliers and that. And I've got to put the chickens away when it gets dark as well, so you have to remind me. And, we had some field fairs in the garden today. I don't know if any of you are a bit of a twitcher or know your birds, but we had some field fairs this morning, eating the rose hips off the wild rose we got at the back. I've seen them quite a lot, but I've never seen one in our garden. Of course, the red wings are back as well. So, you know, I'm a bit of a twitcher. Well, not a twitcher, but I do like a bit of bird watching. So belts have been changed, yeah. Comments box to put the keyword in. You won't get it yet, Johnny, because you've got to wait till the video uploads. So when it uploads, like overnight, you'll be able to put the comment in later on. Right, so let's go. We've drawing 30 milliamps, which is about right. A little bit scratchy base pot. Let's give her a tune then. Christ, that made me jump. Hell. It's quite quiet. It's flipping heck.
There aren't as many staff in the community to help when people are discharged, and that's another problem.
The Business Secretary says he's hopeful there'll soon be a resolution to industrial action by railway workers as day 2 of a 48-hour walkout continues. The leader of the RMT union, Mick Lynch, also believes a deal is achievable. Businesses say today should be one of their busiest shopping days of the year.
That sounds
100
amazing.
homes have been impacted by flooding in North London after a water main burst in the early hours of this morning. 60 firefighters are working to help
classic
residents in
FM
the
by the looks of
Belsize
it.
Road area of South Hampstead.
Got them all said, right, get out and go and, you know, into this match.
Resignation to the...
For children, nearly.
To make do with what was offered to them under the independent pay review. With the Conservatives in government for 12 years, Emma, Health Minister Helen Bailey, on the morning of the strike day, how she could let it get to the point
works
where enough
very
nurses
well.
felt it was safer for patients in the long run to go on.
And also from Mali, here's Umu Sangare with Sarama from her album Timbuktu, which came out back in April. And it's already a classic.
It's important. The war in Ukraine, which has driven up
Well, I think we can say that definitely works.
led into that inflation. So that's why we have the big challenge for us as a country and for the economy of inflation. And the government knows we have to keep inflation under control.
Sorry, the nurses have been on.
Medium wave? Okay. Medium wave. It doesn't sound like we have medium wave unless we've got a dodgy. Yeah, long wave. We have no medium and long wave. Interesting. Okay. No medium and long wave, Jeff. It might be. It might just be dirty switches. I bet that made you jump as well, didn't it? Right. Cassette. What are we going to stick in? Treasure Island, I think we're going to stick in. Side 1. Just going to rewind that on my cassette deck. Where are we? That way round. Rewind. That's one pet hate, isn't it? That people leave the tapes half played. The problem if you do that and you leave it for any length of time, the tape starts curling. So you really do need to make sure your tapes are rewound. So we wound. So let's eject. drop it in. It is quite a nice mech, this. So it's got like a catch that keeps it in. It's very quiet. Will it work?
The captain looked on for a while in silence. Then he went the rounds and saw, as he said, that all was clear. There was a round score of muskets for the 7 of us. The firewood had been built into 4 piles, and on each of these some ammunition and 4 loaded muskets were laid, ready to the hand of the defenders. In the middle, the cutlasses lay ranged.
You are a hacker fan, aren't you, Chris?
Hang them, said the captain. This is as dull as the doldrums. Gray, whistle for the wind. And just at that moment came the first news of the attack. Suddenly, Joyce whipped up his musket and fired. The report had scarcely died away, ere it was repeated and repeated from without in a scattering volley, shot behind shot. But when the smoke cleared away, not a bough waved, and not the gleam of a musket barrel betrayed the presence of our foes. We had little time left to us for thought. Suddenly, with a loud huzzah, a little cloud of pirates leapt from the woods on the north side and ran straight on the stockade. At the same moment, the fire was once more opened from the woods, and a rifle ball sang through the doorway.
Dear, how you doing, mate?
The doctor's musket into bits.
You remember Treasure Island as a BBC series in the 70s?
Over the fence like monkeys. The Squire and Gray fired again and yet again. 3 men fell, 1 forwards into the enclosure, 2 back.
So Daniel's saying that always remember the library used to lend tapes and always like that, or part chewed, so audio faded out. Usually they were in the cars in the really hot weather, and people get them chewed up in the car cassette. So you pull it out, string all the tape out. I'm sure you can remember doing that from your car cassette, lifting the little, you know, the little door and pulling the tape out from the car cassette, and then getting your Bic pen and winding it back in and just hoping for the best. But it was always wobbly after that.
The head of Job Anderson, the boatswain, appeared in the middle of the loophole. "At 'em all hands! All hands!" he roared in a voice of thunder.
For a later hacker, these are superb.
Another pilot grasped Hunter's musket.
It is. You're dead right, Timothy. The new ones are rubbish. If you watch Techmoan's channel, you'll see some of his reviews of newer ones. They're pretty bad. You're definitely a fan of Hacker. Yeah, definitely are.
"Out, lads, out! Fight him in the open. Cutlasses!" cried the captain.
Speed seems, and we'll test the speed in a minute.
And dashed out of the door into the clear sunlight. Right in front, the doctor was pursuing his assailant down the hill, and just as my eyes fell upon him, beat down his guard and sent him sprawling on his back with a great slash across the face. "Round the house, lads! Round the house!" cried the captain.
That's good, isn't it?
Mechanically, I obeyed. And ran
Rob's been timed out. Capital letters, Rob.
Moment, I was face to face.
Capital letters are considered shouting in chat, so you do get timed out. Only 2 minutes though. Right, Jess, doing good, mate. You sent me some photos of the sun going down on Facebook. I'll have a look at that later. Jess, thank you for that.
The fight was over, and the victory.
Played the copy in the car. Yeah, I do remember pulling those tapes out.
Behind me had cut down the big bosun ere he had time.
Yeah, I can see that, but he put it in capitals, Daniel.
A loophole in the very act of firing. A third, as I had seen, the doctor had disposed of at a blow. Of the 4 who had scaled the palisade, 1 only remained unaccounted for, and he, having left his cutlass on the field, was now clambering out again with the fear of death upon him.
So let's just pop that in my my cassette deck here. Just see what it sounds like. See if there's any difference. I mean, it's going to sound a bit different because I've got big speakers, to be fair, but it's a cheated a bit. But I just want to see if we got the tape hiss on this. I think we have. I dropped this the other day, so my batteries are probably been jarred.
Fire from the house. And you lads, back into cover. In 3 seconds, nothing remained of the attacking party but the 5 who had fallen. 4 on the inside, and 1 on the outside of the palisade. The doctor and I ran at full speed for shelter, and we saw at a glance the price we had paid for victory.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
Inside his loophole, stunned. Joyce, by his, shot through the head, never to move again.
There you are. Bit of a go on the Cruncher workshop hi-fi. So let's see if rewind works, which it does. Fast forward. Yeah.
First off at a blow. Of the four who had scaled the palisade,
so it's not got auto stop, so you've got to manually push stop. As a full mechanical deck on it. Keep dropping that remote on the floor. It doesn't do it any good, you know. You've done it again, Rob. You've got your caps lock on your keyboard, mate. Take your caps lock off, else it'll boot you out again. He'll boot you out for longer next time. The Sharp RT10 cassette deck, practically bulletproof. I have got a Sharp cassette deck up in the loft to do, and I was going to pull that out for the Christmas streams. Got the volume up a bit high there, really. So let's eject that one. What else can we play that we might not get a hit for? I think the girl from Ipanema and Chris Rea is going to get us a hit. Guns N' Roses definitely is, and the Queen ones. What about Les Miserables in chrome dioxide? What are we on? Side. I always get confused about which side is which on these. So we have got to do something to this. Really, we've got to find out why AM it isn't working. So this is a chrome tape now. This will be interesting. So it should be lower noise. So we can push our chrome dioxide button now. Let's push play. I have to pull this pretty quick if it's music, but so the little cassette light is working as well. Yeah, that's a lot lower noise. It's surprising the difference between chrome tape and... Yeah, I'm not sure whether that'll be copyright or not, so I better be careful with it. Metal tapes, oh, I'd love a metal tape. I've only got one metal tape and it's still in its wrapper. I'm reluctant to take it out, but you know, your metal tape has got to be your best tape, hasn't it? It's literally got to be. It's got to be your ultimate mixtape if you're going to put metal on it. I recorded some stuff for Les. I recorded Beach Boys' greatest hits for Les the other day, off of a record, and it was absolutely brilliant recording. Really, really good. Yeah, really good. Mrs. Cruncher's 3 bags of Quality Street favourites. She's nearly ate all them, Mike. She said to me yesterday, "Where have you put those strawberry creams? I can't find them anywhere." I said, "Well, they're in the cupboard there, look." I showed her this yesterday, and today they're like, she's probably got 2 left in there. She loves them. Thanks very much, Mike. You are definitely in her good books. And mine. Do you like mechanical decks with auto search for each song? The problem with auto search, Jess, is in order to search, the tape has got to be in contact with the tape head all the time. So really, you're potentially increasing the wear on the tape and the wear on the tape heads. So I do like it. This deck I've got here, this Denon, it's very clever because if you push the seek button once, it goes to the next track. If you push it twice, it skips to 2 tracks, 3 times, and so on and so on. So you could skip right to the very end track if you wanted to, or just the number of pushes on the button. You remember paying £5 for TDK metal tape. A lot of money, 40 years it was. They were expensive. I used to buy chrome dioxide tapes for my best stuff that I wanted to keep. But I only used to use it really for recording Top of the Pops, to be honest. That was my main purpose of having a cassette deck back in the day, was to record Top of the Pops. So you used to have it on pause, didn't you? Just waiting for the guy to stop talking, and then you take it off pause quick and get it back on pause again before he starts talking again at the end of it. You all did it. You all did it. I'm not alone. Hi, Multi, how are you? Going dark here, might be time to put the chickens away. No, not yet. Still light here. Still light here, Mr. Pepperidge. This is a bit dark on my camera. Let me just brighten myself up a bit. That's better. You can see the shirt better now, look. And Mr. Racing Demon's badge was mine now. Let's just catch up, see if I've missed anything. There's a Capri on Bangers and Cash this morning. What's the Pepperidge? I love Capris. I think we talked Capris before, didn't we? I've had a Mark 1, a Mark 2, and a Mark 3. Well, 2.8 injection, which was a Mark 3, wasn't it, really? But I had 2 Mark 1s, 1 Mark 2, and 1 Mark 3. I was a Capri nut, to be fair. I used to go to all the Capri. I used to be in the Capri Owners Club. I used to go to their meetings up in Stonehouse. I used to go to all the Capri meets, and some fantastic Tickford Capri. Can you remember that one? Whoa, madness. Yeah, Leah said about tapes getting wrecked in the car due to temperatures being too high or too low. Yeah, they did. They did. No worries, Rob. Easily done, mate. Just Mr. Stream Elements will kick you out. And thanks for the super chat, Rob. Just catching up with all the chat. Always got your some Sony Centre in Kidderminster. Throw out your TIAC cassette deck. I just sold a Sony double cassette deck to my mate the other week. Escort RS2000. Oh, a flash. The Mark 1 Mexicos. Mark 1 Escort Mexico. Amazing. And Lotus Cortina. God. The Mark 1 Lotus Cortina is an absolutely lovely motor. When I was an apprentice, one of the engineers I used to work with, he had a Mark 2 Lotus Cortina. He took me out in it one day. It was so loud, I literally thought the big end bearings had gone. I said, the big ends are gone on it. Surely, he said, no, it's the carbs. And he had the twin Webers on it. It sounded unreal. It went like the clappers as well. Martin, how are you, mate? What difference in normal tapes and chrome tapes? Well, the chrome tapes do tend to be less noise, Rob. They've got a different frequency response. Not necessarily better. I think they give you more top end frequency, but you lose some of the bottom end. And I think metal tapes give you like the best of everything. I mean, later on with OBS and HX Pro, I think that's what we call head extension Pro, that did make them even better. Hi Aston, how are you? You had a Mark 1 facelift and a Mark 2. What, Capri or Escort, Harvey? Capri Club International. You were also a member, Lee, were you? I've still got that stuff somewhere. I've got a drawer back here with car stuff in it. I probably even got my original documents for it. I can remember the registration of my very first car back when I was 18. Well, what am I now? That was 40 years ago. 40 years ago I bought my first car, and it was a Mark I Capri 1600 GT. 1970 it was. 1970 version. You had a few Mark I Escort Mexicos and a Mark II RS 2000s. They cost a fortune now. Has anybody looked at the classic car sites? They're crazy money. You can buy them, Rob, if you Google it. Sorry, if you go on eBay, if you want to spend a fortune, you can buy them. I mean, I did get a couple chrome tapes in this stash, actually. They're over there in the wooden basket. That's why I bought it, actually. I looked through the bag. I thought, oh, this looks a bit lacking. And all of a sudden, in fact, I've got more here. I've got synthesizer hits. Yeah, I looked through the stash, and the good old TDK SA90 high position chrome tape, look. And I didn't have one in there, I had two. There's a channel in there, Cassette Comeback, that goes into great depths on these tapes and what the date of them is, etc. But I don't know any of that. But they're exactly the same tape, but different writing on them. So really, this is what I bought that whole carrier bag of tapes for, just these two. And I have got some reel-to-reel tapes in there as well. So we might have a look at those in a minute, but I haven't got anything wired up to play it on up here. I have downstairs in the lounge, but not up here. So yeah, that was to me worth the £5 just to buy those two. So the rest were a bonus, because I've also got a couple more here. Some Enchanted Evening, the Mantovani, I call him Mantovani, but it's Mantovani Orchestra. That was in there. And synthesizer hits. Now, I did look this up on Discogs, and this is not original artist. It's some people copying them. We'll have a listen. Shall we have a listen? Because we tried Les Miserables, and I haven't rewound that. That's me telling you you've got to rewind your tapes, and I haven't done it myself. It does pay when you get another tape as well to fast forward and rewind it a few times just to even all the tape out, because they can run a bit slow else. Hang on, we'll turn it on. I've got to be careful because I will get a hit on this. I don't even know what that is. So it draws 120 milliamps when the tape's on. Probably tubular bells, something like that, maybe. Synthesizer hits. Now these have got some random stuff on, and we've still got to get into this thing and look at the long wave, medium wave, haven't we? I can't remember what these have got on them now. I think they've got home recordings. What a racket. It's a Sin, Pet Shop Boys, is it? Or that's someone's home recording that's recorded very badly. What's this one they got on it? I didn't have the chrome down, but I don't think that really matters with this recording. Yeah, sometimes you can get real gems on these home recorded tapes. Now that sounds very familiar. What is that? Do you know what that reminds me of? Oh God, what was it with Will Ferrell? Oh, what the hell is it called? Something Brothers? Not Blood Brothers. Step Brothers, with Will Ferrell in it, and I can't remember the other guy's name now. And at the very end, he reckoned he had a voice of an angel, and he came on at the very end of it and sang this. Crazy, crazy film. Really good. Could that be too much? Could that be a copyright hit? If so, I'll delete it, but, you know. Yeah. That's a very recognisable track, that, isn't it? So, yeah, that seems to have sort of opera stuff on that one. And that's just a very bad recording. I think on one side there's just loads of weird stuff with the guys talking all the time. So, you know, where was that one that I didn't rewind? I've got to do that. OCD is kicking in. That's only a couple seconds, but... And that one's got tape hanging out of it as well, look. I only said Stranglers then. Stranglers, it's the Shadows, Graham, not the Stranglers. So that's actually on side 2 at the moment. Let's rewind that. Should we have a quick go? Should we have a quick go? Shall I be daring? A bit of Shadows? I know Les likes to drop a Shadows. The back end was mental on a Capri. I nearly put one through a shop window down in Exeter. Stop it, Graham. Naughty. Let's just fast forward that one because it's on side 2 at the moment. Pardon me. Mark's off. Catch you soon, Mark. Could be a bit later tomorrow because I've got family Christmas present dropping to do tomorrow. So catch up. Let me catch up. Yeah, I nearly put one through the shop window in Exeter. Came around the corner a bit fast, and the back end just totally went, and I ended up bashing against the curb just outside the shop. But, you know, it's a bit of a boy racer back in the day. You always wanted an Escort RS2000. That was the one with a little angled nose cone, wasn't it? Toyota Celica. Some of those old Celicas were really good. You got some good recordings on chrome tapes, Mike? You do need a lottery. Died of rust. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of cars of that era did suffer. That's quite a quick fast forward, actually. That fast forwarded the whole tape. But you can see what I mean by needing to fast forward it and rewind it a few times. I don't know if you can actually see that, but there's loads and loads of steps in that. So that needs to go in the tape deck and just be rewound and fast forward a few times to even it all out. Right, well, we need to have a look to see why long wave and medium wave is not working. Let's just double check, make sure it's still not working. So we have sort of got RF noise. I reckon if it's not the push buttons, it could be the oscillator transistor. Okay, so Jeff's given us a challenge. Can we fix it? Can we make medium wave and long wave work? Have we got a service manual even? Not that we really need it, I don't suppose. I'm sure we can find out which is which. I think it's lock fits on this one, and for some reason lock fits in the AM oscillator section are prone to failing, whether it's static coming through or I really don't know. Right. If you win the lottery, Harvey, you buy me one as well, will you? I'd like a Capri RS, was it 2000? No, RS 3100, please. A Capri Mark 1 RS 3100. I think that's it. They did some weird ones. They did a 2600 RS as well, I think. You'd love an Opel Manta. I remember those as well. When I was down at college doing my apprenticeship, one of the guys from Exeter that used to give us a lift, he had an Opel Manta, and that was a nice car. He had it in sort of like a, it wasn't a lime green, but it was a metallic green colour, really smart. We need to just do a car show one day, don't we? We just need to do a car chat, I think. It could go on forever. Fast forwards are crazy, aren't they? You had Corolla GT coupes. Yeah, some nice tapes, Mike, isn't there? You picked up a box full of TDK chromes and metal tapes a while back. Oh, Aston, do you want to part with some of them MA90s? Rewind your tapes or the video rental company will get mad. I remember that. You had to rewind them, didn't you? Blockbuster, or you were in trouble. Secret Engineer, put the woe and flutter on it. We will in a minute, Rich, definitely. But I want to see if we can get the AM work in a minute. Corsair V4. They used to do they did a Mark 1 2-litre Capri that had a V4 in it. And I remember my mate had one. I think it was a 2-litre GT, I think it was he had. And the engine packed up, so he put a 2-litre overhead cam in it, because the V4 was overhead valve, and he put the later engine in from the facelift Capri, which well, in fact, it might come out of a Cortina actually, which was a 2-litre overhead cam. It did sound really smart though. The worm filter on it. Still catching up here. I've got loads here. It's going quicker than I can read it, people. Quicker than I can read it. But yeah, Aston, nice tapes, mate. You got tapes of Michael Jackson when you were small in the 90s. A Time to Say Goodbye. Yeah. Step Brothers. Cracking film. Absolute cracking film. Very funny. You got to like that sort of humour, but I do. It's my sort of thing, really. You know, Will Ferrell, Chevy Chase. I love them. Ralph went to see Arthur Brown in the 90s, and he let you record the entire concert on an Akai 4000D. He brought out an album a year later, and it wasn't as good as the recording. You still got it. Wow. That's a claim to fame there, Ralph. I bet that sounds amazing. I think mine's a 4000, isn't it? My Akai. That Gary, who sadly passed, let me have. Gary Cooper. Drop Snoot, yeah. Oscillator not running? I don't think it is, Steve. It's either the oscillator transistor or the switches, one of the two. You'd love to restore one of these. I've got one here that you could restore, Rob, if you wanted to. You're still restoring your Renault R4 F4 FASA. Fast as something ass. Cheers, Mike. For a TDK chrome tape on eBay, it's about £8. Really? They're crazy money. Gotta love a car boot sale. Yeah, there's not many tapes at car boot sales anymore, Aston. They sort of died a death, didn't they? And then the LPs came back, so everybody dug their LP collections out, took them down the car boot sale and tried to sell them for a fortune. Nobody would buy them, so they all went cheap again. But there are dealers down at the car boot sales now for records, and some of them they're like charging a tenner a record. I'm like, nah, get off. So yeah, I think oscillator. Oh, that's a good drink, that, isn't it? It's got to be either oscillator or I'd go for the switches first, I think. It's easier to list what cars you haven't had pre-85s, but not much beats a fuel-injected 3.5 SDI Rover. Nice. They were rust buckets as well, weren't they? I tell you a car that I always wanted. When I was a teenager, they brought out the E-Type Jag, and I used to get one of these like fancy, like I can't remember what it's called now, but it was sort of like a how-to magazine I used to buy, or how it's made, something like that. And they did a write-up of this XJS, and they did like an exploded drawing of it, and like a skeleton drawing where they take the body off and just show you all the insides. Oh, amazing! I'd love to have one of those. Is it V6 or did they do a V8? I think the Rover was a V8, wasn't it? 3.5 was a V8. Anyway, we're deviating. We're on cars, aren't we? I do like cars, though. Sadly, these days, cars are not anything like they used to be. You can't really get that. What's the word? You can't really fall in love with a car these days. They're too clinical. You know, back in the day, you used to be, will it or won't it start? You know, will it break down? These days, you haven't really got a lot of that, have you? Timothy had a 1972 Rover P6. I remember them. My dad had the 2-litre one, Timothy, and it had full leather interior. And every time we went out in it, I was travel sick. Really crazy. Yeah, it was a Pinto engine, yeah. Overhead cam. Just catching it. XJS was supposed to be mid-engine, but they decided to keep it at the front. Kept the flying buttress. Happened with a little... Yeah, the Mini Coopers, those old ones are worth a fortune now. You got a V8 Landy. Costs a blimmin' fortune to run, I know, but they sound amazing, don't they? The guy across the road from me, he had a V8 Range Rover. Was it Range Rover? Or was it? No, it was a Discovery. It was a Discovery 4, I think, and I always really, really fancied it. And I didn't know that he was selling it, but the next thing I knew was someone pulling up on his driveway to buy the thing. I'd have loved to have bought that. I'd have had to get a bank loan, but I would have bought that. It sounded amazing, and it had a Recon engine in it as well. Right. It is now dark, so before I do this, I must go down and put those poor chickens to bed, because otherwise Mr. Foxy will be in there. Won't he, Penguin? Take Penguin down to see him, couldn't I? So the microphone will still be on. You'll only be crunching about in the snow, I suspect. But, yeah, they've got to be put to bed. What are the doggies listening to today, then? Nothing. The radio's gone off, puppies. Oh, I forgot to take my tablet as well, didn't I? Damn. Let me take my tablet as well. It's all to do. How are we doing? It's only 4:30, so we got a good hour or so left yet. So where's my tablet? Coco, where's Daddy's tablet too? There they are. They're good doggies. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have got a video. I've just put it out to Patreons, level 2 patrons and level 2 members, of me and Mrs. Cruncher out with the dogs. So if you want a rare sight of Mrs. Cruncher, unfortunately you've got to become a member or a Patreon at the moment, but I will upload it to YouTube later in the week. But at the moment it's out on Patreon for level 2. I think it's what's level 2? Heralds, isn't it? Heralds on both. God, Coco, is that you? Stinker. He stinks. Right, I've got to put a coat on because it's blimmin' freezing out there. Well, 2 degrees, it says on my weather thing. 2 degrees. Let's go and put the girls to bed. We've only got 3 left, poor things. And because of this bird flu thing, they're stuck in. We can't even let them out. Really, you know, they are going downhill health-wise as well, which isn't good at all. I think we're going to lose at least one of them for being cooped in. You know, they're used to roaming the field, but unfortunately, not the case now. You going to move, Coco, so I can get out? So yeah, the video I've uploaded is Mrs. Cruncher walking Coco and Maddie, and me following them, and then them running around in the field chasing snowballs that Mrs. Cruncher's throwing for them. I did promise I'd upload it, so it will upload in the week. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm at the back now. It's still just about light enough to see without a torch. That's going out into the field. Go to their coop. Can you hear the snow? There the girls. Doi 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 doi. Doi doi doi. You talking, girls? No? No, they won't talk. They're shy. Mike shy. Overnight. Really, the coop's too big for 3. It's 10. Really supposed to put 3 chickens in a 10 chicken coop because they can't huddle together for heat. So we will have to get some more at some stage, but probably won't till the spring now. Hopefully these make it through the winter. We started off with 10 originally, then we got down to about 4, so we bought another load to make it up to 9, and then they gradually keel over, usually for no reason really. You know, you can see the crowns start flopping, their mantle starts flopping and goes a bit pale. The next thing you know, there's one dead in the coop. Right, that's the chickens done. Doggies are okay. Should we give them a treat? Let's give them a bonio each. Here then. There, good boy, good girl. Yeah, there you go, Coco. There, they got a bonio each. On that note, I'm going to skip to the loo while I'm here, and then we'll come up and see why AM isn't working. Right. Let's move them out there. Where that is. Right, back in the room. Back in the room. Girls are put to bed. Doggies have got a treat. Sorted. Okay, let's catch up. One of the caps could be a problem. I doubt it. I doubt it. It could be though, you never know, Rob. Good to reminisce about good cars, but you don't want one these days. Too expensive to buy. Hard to find spares. Yeah, I know. Mind you, there's a lot of cars that have got a big following. A big following, haven't they? And a lot of people are making new parts for them. Snowcruncher. Vernon. Unfortunately, you got your caps lock on, Vernon, so the bot has timed you out, mate, for 2 minutes. Apologies, but take your caps lock off, Vernon. Happy Christmas to you as well, mate. Hope you're doing okay. If I stick it back in here, do you think it'll time me out as well? That'd be funny, wouldn't it, if it timed me out? Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Vernon, as well. What's the range on those, Mike? I don't know. I mean, I've gone downstairs, I've gone out the back door, across the back garden, and out into the field, and it still stayed in, did it, all the way? It's a road. It's good stuff. Made in Australia. It's a road link. A road link. So it's a good bit of kit. It's not got an external aerial either, so the aerial's built into it. So it's quite good, isn't it? It does go a fair way. Your money would be on dirty switches. I think you're probably right. I mean, it's 50-50, I think, between dirty switches and a Duff lock fit. I'm hoping it's switches. I have got lock fits here though to replace them. Let's make a bit of room. Let's make a bit of room. Oh, you lost me for a few seconds. What is that noise? I think that's my neighbour Rob. Okay, let's have a look here. Can we get at any of this without taking it out of the case? Possibly. No, we can't. So the switches are in behind this board here, so there's no way I can get to them with this board in the way. So the whole lot's got to come out the case. I don't know. Did Jeff say whether it was working on AM previously? I didn't catch. Phil Tube, how you doing, Phil? You heard running water earlier. Did you? That wasn't me. That was probably me flushing the toilet, I expect. Pepperidge. Okay, catch you soon, Brett. Have a good one, mate. Tea time? Right, and I believe this comes undone from the bottom. If I remember rightly, this is really tricky to get out the case because I think you've got to take the cassette door off, although maybe the mechanism, the cassette deck, comes out separately, possibly. It's a while since I worked on one, but I know there is some screws underneath these here, there, and over the other side. The dogs are having a fry up. Sounds like they're playing dustbins. Jeff said he thought it was okay on AM. I'll tell you what we could do before we go drastic. We'll get Derek's cracking little and he said transformer then, transmitter in, and we'll see if it'll pick that up, because it might just be the Faraday cage that is my workshop. So let me just go and get that one a minute. Oh hell, no, my neighbour's just got a whacking great lorry in his garden for some reason. What the hell's Rob up to? It looks like a big lorry in his garden. Now, what have I done with that? Oh, here it is. Here he is. Here's my little transmitter. So if you haven't got one of these, you need to get one, really. And you need to have a look on Derek's eBay page for one of these. He kindly sent me this one. Little AM transmitter. So you basically can plug your phone or other audio device in, connect up a 9-volt battery and transmit into the radio. And I think we did that a few weeks ago now, didn't we? Pardon me. Right, let's find my battery, which is in my little box with the little radio. We're going to need an audio source, so we just use the phone for now. So what can we find? Shango radio station tour. Shango never comes on camera, does he? I think some people have seen him, but I'm just going to get a YouTube video. Just play one of my YouTube videos. I'm sure they won't copyright me, will they? They do. So let's just plug that in. Cruncher's Christmas, apparently live. Giveaway special. So let's go with library, your videos. I'll just play you some of the audio from the walk around the village in the snow. And no, I'm not singing the Aled Jones song, thank you very much. So this is just me walking around the field with the dogs. Would help if I turned it on. Stick it on medium wave, and I think this one's set for 750 kilohertz, 400 meters. Now is this in meters? Yes it is, so it's up. Something there. It is working. It's working. Gotta love the theme tune. Yeah. Come on, get on with it. It's very good, actually. Mrs. Cruncher, look. Woohoo! Mrs. Cruncher getting pulled along. So that's us walking through the village after we had that really heavy snowfall. Mrs. Cruncher couldn't get into work, so
Jockeys can't wait to get down there, can they? They want to put a field, dummy.
There's Mrs. Cruncher throwing snowballs for him.
Where's the ball at? Where's the ball? Look at the colour of that.
It was very very cold. So there you are. It's better there actually, less noise. You can hear the snow underfoot, can't you? There you are. So that video's out on Patreon and the members page at the moment for Tier 2. So you should get that if you're a Patreon. So it works. It works. So why isn't it picking up any radio stations? It's obviously picking up this one. What can we do? We can probably have a go at connecting the external aerial up to it. So it does seem to be working. So just as well to pull it apart, wouldn't it? This certainly is working. So that proves it. So that's really a really good feature of having that. So you can actually prove it. Let's turn that back off again then. So yeah, if you want to see that video, it's on Patreon and on the members page, and it will be uploaded later next week to YouTube. So you'll be able to see it next week if you don't want to join my Patreon, which is well worth joining, to be fair. I think Gavin is now in. So Gavin, if you're out there watching, mate, I have a new Patreon. Direction Ferrite was pointing at. I mean, it could be low reception, but it certainly picked that up, no problem at all. But Derek's transmitter is very good. Just trying to see how easy it would be to get onto the ferret. So the ferrite's all the way over there. Yeah, not really going to be able to get onto the ferrite, and it's not coupled to it. Have we got an external aerial? We have, but that's FM, I think. Well, that is FM. Let's try it again then. It's definitely not picking anything up. So it seems to be really low gain for some reason. Seems to be really low gain. I think we're going to have to take it out. I need to spray these switches anyway, so we need to get it out. Does your jogs jump up on people? Yeah, the yellow one does, Rob. Maddie, she's a nightmare for it. She gouged a big gouge out of Les's arm about a couple months ago. Big scratch down his arm. What was the little transmitter? It's an AM transmitter that Derek makes and sells on his eBay page, SciMap. If anybody can put a link on it, one of the moderators, put the link up for that one. That'll be helpful. Right, so we're going to have to take it out of the case, I think, to get a bit of spraying done. A bit of switch cleaning and see if we can find out why this is low gain. Let's pop these two screws out. George, you're back again. I say it's a long time since I took one of these apart. I did restore mine, replace the belts in it. I think that's where Jeff got the belt from. Was the belt that I did on mine. Did I recap mine? I don't think I did. So FM is obviously no problem at all. There's no issues with FM. I wonder if it uses the same IF board. So it could be one of the IF transistors gone. If it's got a separate IF strip for AM. Very often these radios share the IF strip with AM and FM. And I suspect, being this is a hacker sound set, that would be the case, because they were struggling come the end. Right, that's those undone. Now, will it come out without the... Will it come out the chassis without the... What am I trying to say? The cassette deck coming out. Let me just get a screwdriver and give it a little tweak. Yeah, I think the radio chassis may come out on its own. Or will it... No, the cassette mech is attached as well. So from memory, you've got to take the door off. So you've got some little screws down each side of the door to take off. Let's get a little pot to put this stuff in, otherwise it's going to go walkabout again, isn't it? Yeah, thank you, George. Yeah, of course you visited and she jumped all over you, George. That's pretty normal. I did warn you prior though, but she's still done it. She is a jumper. I don't know why she does it, because it's really annoying. Whenever anybody visits, she just jumps all over them. And you know, they're not light dogs, they're Labradors. So they're not light. They're quite hefty dogs, especially Coco. He's 40 odd kilos, he is. He's a monster. He's huge. So I'm just taking the screws out here of the cassette door. From memory, these are not the easiest of sets to work on. So that then comes off. Nice bit of felt, look, to protect it. Another lump of wood inside doing something. So, will it come out now? Come on, please come out. Yeah, it should now come out. You should come out now. You've got to come out. Hang on. We've got to do something else to here. We've got a screw there. Where else? No, I think we're in business. We need to disconnect the speaker. So black at the top, can you remember that? Blue at the bottom. That's going to have to be undone. I think a lot of these wires are going to have to come undone, although I might be able to get it out just enough to... No, pulled one of the edge connectors, has decided it's had enough and it's come off. Okay, right, this is unusual. We've got these little, what they call like jelly bean caps in there, transistors in there. That's certainly a different audio board than I've seen before. That's definitely the radio board. So it looks... Yeah, that is the switchboard. It looks like it's also the AM board, and the FM board is up here, I think. You can't quite see, can you? So I'd assume that the FM board is in here, and it does look like the FM's got its own IF. But I think this might have an IC inside it. I'm not sure if that's the oscillator or... That's got to be the last cam with a detector in it. Maybe one of these little transistors has gone a bit low gain. What was that wire there for? That's just... Of course the amplifier's in there, isn't it? So we've got to still connect that. Is that the amplifier? So that's a cassette board. We've got another board here, which is the tone control board. We've got the cassette mech. But this is definitely the radio board, or the AM radio board. But it's laid out very strange. They're not in a row like they normally are, so I suspect that we might have an IC in underneath this one, possibly. But I'm saying that, we've got transistors, haven't we? So no, it won't have an IC in it. I wonder if there's any service info. Let's have a look at my service info stuff. Dave, evening Stu. Not Dave, Stu. In and out, tape recorder to fix. No worries, Steve. Took a long time to teach your boxer to start jumping up. Punch you in the crutch, yeah. I know. I know the feeling. Power connector to edge of board. Coop Zone 8 is the eBay name. Why are the two different ones, 750 and 625? Depends what frequency you want. They're both frequencies in the medium wave band. So you need to check your radio SIMAP just to see if you've got 750 kilohertz. See if there's a station on it, because you don't want it beating with another station. And 625 kilohertz. There's nothing here on 750. I'm not sure on 625 though, so you need to tune to 625 kilohertz, whatever that is in meters, on your radio. This one is 750, yeah. No. I'm the same, George. I've done one. Evening, Danish. How are you? Anthony, evening, mate. A busy week. It's a busy month, Anthony. Busy month. No worries, Simon. So let's find the manual. I'll go in and see if I've got it on my disc. You never know. It might be on the vintage data disc. I've got it loaded up at the moment, actually. I didn't intend to. It was just on there from yesterday. So let's see, got the Hacker RPC1 in there. I mean, to be fair, it's going to be the same audio, same radio board as the Sovereign 4. So either of those will do. What's the model number of the Sovereign 4? Is it 77? I can't remember off the top of my head. Doesn't look like I got it. Certainly not the same board as the Sovereign 3. I wonder if the radio and television servicing guides have got it in. Now somewhere I've got the RTVS complete list. It's on my iPad. It's on my iPad, complete index of the RTVS. What you're saying, George? It's not, it's only a standalone booklet. Radio Museum has schematics, do they? Okay. Let's have a look at the Radio Museum. I think Radio and Television Servicing possibly has the Sovereign 4. I thought it was later than that, but yeah. I have got an original, well, not original, I've got a photocopied service manual for it somewhere. Owner's manuals. Code Machine's got it, but they charge. Nice chap, actually, Code Machine. I have had stuff off of him before. In fact, I've bought 2 AM. No, not 2 AM. 2 power supplies for battery radios, battery valve radios off of him. So see, it says RPC1. They've got it available as an instant download on the Hacker Service Info. That's Sovereign 4, and they've got the RPC1 as well. Radio and Television Servicing. I'm sure it's in there. Let's have a look. I have had it out before. My iPad there will have it. Let's have a look. My workshop iPad, which I don't know has got any power in it. I did charge it up. Oh, that's got a bit. 49%. Ideal. No. I can't remember how to use this one. That's so long. Press home to unlock. I tried that. I'm in. Right, so it's in my books. Apologies if you're typing, but I'm not looking at the screen at the moment. I've got my eyes on my iPad. So I've got all my service info on this one. So let's it's downloading everything now. Where's the search button then? This is an old iPad. RPC1 manual. Here we go. I've got it. I have the manual. RPC1. Now, see if I'm going to have to see if I can share it to the laptop. How can I share this? I can email it to myself. At Graham, Radiocruncher.com. There we go. Send it to me and I can download it on that one then. Clever stuff in it, eh? Looks like I've got a nice bit of wire in my speaker. Yeah, it's a good old thing, this. It's got one of these OtterBox covers on it, which stops it getting damaged. So we can have a look at this while I'm doing it. So, FE tuner, cassette, interconnecting diagram. We're going to need that. Chord assembly, cassette azimuth adjustment. FE tuner. Switched IF PCB. That's the one we want. So this is a proper old school manual. This is all typed, look. You can see that. This is all hand typed up, this is. Static voltages measured with an AVO 8 audio amplifier, IF amplifier. So it says IF amplifier, IF supplied measured at top of 150 microfarad capacitor, 9.1 volts when switched to AM, 8.3 when switched to FM. Bias supply measured on top of D1, 1.45. No signal condition, total battery drain. Alignment procedure. So it's only 2 IF calls, T2 and T3 by the looks of it. 470 tones a kilohertz across the medium wave call. We don't want to use a wobbler because I've not got everything set up to wobble and I'm not confident to do it anyway. Set pointer to 500 meters and inject signal this frequency, loop area, blah blah blah. Yeah, so it's T2 and T3 is the IF, and we've got some diagrams, which is nice. FE tuner module is the FM. Oh, it does medium wave as well, okay. So we could have an issue there. It might be one of the wires is disconnected. Type, so the switchboard. Blue and pink. What did I say was the 2 cores for IF? T2 and T3. Let's just get this on the screen so you can have a look at it as well. I'm just talking to myself, else, aren't I? Apologies for that. I just need to go into my email a minute and see if I can just download that service manual which I've sent to myself. Sometimes that's the only way to do it. Soho. Sign in. Inbox. Storage limit exceeded. No. No. Storage limit exceeded. Friday, 16th of December at 10:15 p.m. Oh dear. Oh, that can't be Mrs. Cruncher. Don't know who that is then. Sounded like a car driving in. Oh, it's nothing there, puppies. Rough, yeah. There's no one there. It did sound like a car driving in, though. I think it's that lorry driving out from next door. Interesting. So that's not going to come through. That's annoying. Archived. So it wants me to buy more storage. Your incoming email has been blocked. Click here to get unlocked. What a nightmare, isn't it, eh? So let's just see if I can get this unblocked. 237 WY4. Unblock me. Unblock me. So we're unable to process. Please contact support. I've gone over my quota. Naughty Mr. Cruncher. It wants me to buy more storage space. That's what it wants me to do. It's a nightmare, all this, isn't it? Let's get it on sent to my normal email then. Apologies, I still haven't got the chat up. Let me get the chat so I can chat with you as well as I'm messing about with this. Seen that. Robot is to be done in the new year. Working on the Sound A20. It's an RPC1. It's in the Hacker Groups files section. Oh, that could be easier then, George. That could be easier, couldn't it? That could be easier. Groups IO. So, screen capture. So I'm in Groups IO now. I'm in the Hacker Radio group. It's me, Radiocruncher. My other groups. So I'm in quite a few groups there. Look. AOR, got one of these coming. Hopefully Mrs. Cruncher's bringing that home from work today. The AR3000A. That might be tomorrow's stream. Roberts Radio Group, Sony, Texan. They're all in here. So you need to go to Groups IO, Hacker Radio Group, and sign up. It's free of charge. Absolutely free of charge. But there's a lot of stuff in there. So cheers, George, for reminding me of that. Probably where I downloaded it from in the first place. Yeah, it's got the like jelly bean transistors, isn't it? Not yet, Steve, but I did. Don't forget, I just played an AM transmitter into it. No problem at all, Steve. So it just seems to be deaf. Upload the file here, and we can all get it. So you should be able to get it from here, Rich. Or are you saying that file is, you've uploaded it? I'm not 100% with what you mean there, Rich. RPC1 service manual, there we go. Temporary issue. I have got a paper copy of this. It's confidential, look. Can't quite see. Something 7? Is that June 77 or 87? I can't quite see. Let's just make sure you are on my screen. There's me rabbiting away. Yeah, you are. Audio amplifier, static voltages, IF amplifier 511SW. Bias supply measured at the top of D1. And then we've got transistor. So it uses the same IF strip. I wonder if it's a problem with the ferrite rod then, perhaps. Or the switches. We've still got to do the switch, haven't we? AM alignment, look, 470 kilohertz. Let's see what Rich is saying about this link in a minute then. Let me just click Rich's link and see what happens. McAfee doesn't like that, Rich. McAfee is saying, no, don't do it, don't do it. Don't do it, it's saying. Yeah, so I mean we can try injecting a signal in it, see how sensitive it is, but I think I need to clean the switches first before we do anything else. I'm just trying to see where T2 and T3 are. So if we go down to the switch panel, it's going down through, down through, down through. One there, was it? No. Here we go. T2 and T3. So T2 is the big one, the red and the blue. And T3, screen and can RPC1 only. So there is a diode in T3. I mean that's it is picking it up. Remove link for FM shape. Okay, is that the... Oh, this is it here, so I'm going to have to go... It won't let me rotate clockwise, it only lets me rotate counterclockwise, so I've got to go around 2 or 3 times to get it in the page. So yeah, okay. So it looks like the FM IF goes to X. Down onto that switch, and it comes down through here, it goes through T1. Yes, it does use the same IF. But so that's a long wave, medium wave comes in, that's ground. TC4. Yeah, it's got to go through these switches. So this is possibly one of the issues. I don't think, I mean, this is just T2 and T3, doesn't it? Looks like T2 works for AM and FM. T3 might just be AM. Where's that getting its signal from? Where are you coming from? Come from down here. That's ground. Ah, it's coming through here, isn't it? Okay, it's coming through there into TR5 and then up into T4, up into T3. Right, so if anything, it's going to be something on this line more than likely. It could be that diode there, gone. There's an AM test point there. Look at R39. Is that the end of the IF strip, I wonder? Where's that going to? TR6. What is TR6? Is that the AM oscillator, I wonder? Let's have a look. Not sure. Not sure. Let's catch up with the chat. It was for you to upload, but now you're in Groups.io. You can just log in with Google YouTube. I don't use an antivirus, but I saw one of your viewers use it for transfer. Happy Fox, little Benji. Is that your server then, Rich, is it? Okay, up you get, George. Doug's in. Hi, Doug. Who else have I missed? Theo. Theo's in. Theo was in earlier, wasn't he? What a liberty? What's that, Johnny? What's a liberty? Benji used it, did he? Benji. Yeah, it says he blocked it. Visit anyway. I think we're okay with I'm not going to mess about with that while I'm live. But let's check these switches first, because that's got to be, you know, this is the ferrite rod over here. Long wave and medium wave are coming in via here. If we've got one of these switches a bit dodgy, I mean, it could be. I don't think there's a dedicated, unless it's this one down here that's dedicated to. And does it give us a transistor list? I think it did, didn't it? A circuit description, maybe? FM alignment, AM alignment. No, I don't tell you what transistor does what, does it? Yeah, see, TR2 and TR6 are only AM. So, you know, that might be an area to start if the old squirty doesn't work. TR2 and TR6. Let's get back down to the circuit again. Now that's the FM. There we go. So let's go 1, 2, 3. So TR2. Where's TR2 then? TR1, TR3. Down here. Okay. Right. So T1 must be the oscillator core. TR2 must be the oscillator, maybe TR6 the mixer. Okay, so yeah, the switch is coming in here, down through here, into the base of this one. So this is going to be our oscillator in this area. And then it's coming back out here. That's into switch 3. The switches are everywhere, aren't they? FM test. So yeah, TR2 is the oscillator, but the oscillator must be running unless I just push such a big signal in it. It's more than likely something to do with the IF, but could be T3 detuned. Anyway, let's get off that for a minute. Let's get back to some normality. He's back. He's back. Back in the room. Let's just catch up. What have I missed? Thanks, Rich. Sorry I missed that, mate. Carther? Where's Carther? Did Carther drop in? Did I miss you, Mr. Carther? Ah, there he is. Afternoon, Mr. Carther. How are we doing for time? 5:45 now. I need to be gone by 6:30, so let's see if we can get this thing done. Let's see if we can get this thing done. I will keep the iPad handy because it's easier to refer to that because I can't see the chat if I put the screen on. So the switches are up here. So that's got to be favourite, the switches. So let's find my switch cleaner. Pardon me. I'll also get the deoxit down for the volume, bass and treble. Just give them a little squirty squirt. I mean, I really ought to take it out of the chassis, but I've got to pull these edge connectors, and they're a pain in the neck. What have we got here? We've got that wire there, which is up and all the way around there to the microphone. I can see the microphone now. That's the microphone connector. So I might better get a bit of action if I get the microphone connector disconnected. So I had one of these apart not very long ago because Les was here, and we got one that's not working. Well, it's intermittent. Okay, so we're looking at that one there. So I need to put the flash on. Yeah. So yeah, that might be the only one that we need to disconnect, and the rest of it might come out the chassis. Don't really need the microphone connected to do anything to do with the radio side of it. There we are. We're out. Oh. We are out, so I can get you in a bit easier to see it now. Right, let's get on in. Get in there. So this is our radio board, our AM, well, it's the IF board for AM and FM actually, not just AM. So we need to get in there and give them a good, because although They're all interconnected, these switches, so it could be something like the FM switch dirty, not the AM switch. Let's give them a little bit of a workout. It's like playing a what's his name? Squeeze box. Evening Ace, how are you? I'm just exercising the switches at the moment. Evening Les. Just talking about you, Les, were your ears burning? So I'm hoping that the... What was the other wire for? Is that the amplifier board? Or is this the amplifier board in underneath here? That looks like the amplifier board there. Right, so I've squirted them. I just need to see what this orange and black wire is that I've disconnected. Looks like it is the battery switch, I believe. Okay. So not, that could be the power in actually. It's connected into the mains transformer, one side, and the other side goes down to the switch. So I think that's just, it must be mains battery switching on that. So that's got to be our power in. I'm talking to myself again, but you know, that's what I do. That is what I do. No worries, Ace. So where did that other connector come off of then? So that was the microphone connector there, up here. So this is going to be our positive and negative coming in here. So that's our positive, and then any old ground point for a negative. So let's hook that up to some power a minute. Just going to stick a couple wires on for now, if I can find some. There's one. Well, I need to stick a positive wire on, really. I'm pretty sure that's correct. If not, I'll be in trouble, but let's see if we've cured it. I still haven't got any more flux out yet. Struggling with this. It's up there in a bag somewhere. Let me get that flux. Mike! You gotta go. Mrs. Demon calls. Give her our regards, Mike. I'm super Serviceall. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, the old Serviceall. It's been going for many, many years. There's not many service benches in the UK that haven't got a tin of that on it. Or haven't had a tin of that on it, I should say. Some people use different stuff, but they probably started off using that. I actually got that from Les, I think. Les gave me a couple cans of it a while back. So thank you for that, Les. Actually, I'm going to make that a bit shorter because it's quite easily going to short to the ground. So let me have a look. Need to make sure I've got the current limit right on as low as possible. I mean, this is the amplifier board, so the power's got to be going into the amplifier board first and then redistributed around the radio. That's my theory. I haven't checked that theory, but that's what I'm hoping. So let's just strip this back a bit. Let's give that a little tin. A little tin. Still got a pile of cassettes on the desk here. Will this radio ever work again? Now it's had major surgery. Daniel's off? Or Mike's off? Oh, Mike's off, isn't he? Not Daniel. Getting confused now. Yeah, these are not good on these. They always give problems. Always give problems. Usually I just run a fiberglass pen over them, give them a squirt of switch cleaner. Right, that's that. We need a speaker. We need a speaker. And what did I say that was? 4 ohm. I'm sure over here somewhere I had a 4 ohm. Got one there that I've written R707 on it, but I didn't bother writing the ohmage for some bizarre reason. 3 ohm. 4 ohm. There we go. That'll do. It's a bit of an inferior Roberts speaker, I think, this one, but it'll do. It'll do. That's for Mr. Cody's benefit. Right, let's grab a couple of clip leads. Oh, steady. So tomorrow's stream might be the AOR scanner if Mrs. Cruncher remembers to bring it home. And I think what I'm going to do in a minute is just send her a message, just to remind her, because she's forgotten it the last 2 days. One of my customers lives in Barnstable. And drops it into Mrs. Cruncher in work, because Mrs. Cruncher works in Barnstable. And she promptly forgot to bring it home. So it was going to be on the stream yesterday, but we did that little GEC instead, which was quite fun. I must get that one done as well. Right, let me get my leads up then. I need to set it down on a low current limit, just in case this isn't actually the right connection. We on or off? Off. Let's just pop that off for a minute. Speakers connected. So we can pick up the ground there. Potentially, as long as I'm not grabbing anything too deadly the other side. That looks like ground. I could use anywhere on the chassis really, I suppose. That's positive. So let's see if that's yeah, that is it. That is it. We're back in business. Woohoo! There's not much I can receive on medium wave here with everything turned on, so.
That communion is very difficult to see. I was watching celebrations.
Long wave. Yeah, that's picking up all my stuff in here. It works. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Simon. I do love that little splash. You telling me, Paul, that you can get a speaker for an R600 from Robert's Spares? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I thought you might be listening as well. Yas, how are you, mate? Welcome. How are you keeping over there, Yas? I bet it's still hot over there, isn't it? It's freezing here. It is difficult, George. Okay, so that was all it was, the switch bank. Thank God for that, because I was thinking I'm going to have to start pulling stuff out here, getting the checking voltages and all the rest of it, but no, we don't need to do that. So we have got access to the tape deck now. I think this bit here comes off. I think the speed adjustment's in there. Yeah, it's a very sort of Heath Robinson affair, that is. Very strange little boot they put on the cassette motor. Very brittle as well. I don't know what the purpose of that. Maybe it stops it shorting out. I don't know, but not brilliant. But lovely radio nonetheless. Just a bit of switch cleaner, look. Well, so let's do the pots as well while we're in it, if I can get to them. Let's disconnect it from the power supply a minute. I don't short anything out. I'm just looking for the speed adjustment screw, because we will check the woe and flutter and that while I've got it out of the chassis. Right, pots. Oh, they're buried in underneath the cassette mechanism, aren't they? They would be, wouldn't they? Can I get in there? Which one was it? Bass and treble. Let me get my light down. Done quite a few. The cover on the motor's always melted one side, yeah. Just, oh, these are these ones that you can't really get into. The square-bodied ones. Can I get in on that? It's all on that panel there. No, not easily. I'd have to take the mech out to get to it. I don't think it's that difficult to get the mech out of this. But I think the top panel has got to come off. I don't really want to go that far with it today. I can sort of see the controls down through there. So I've either got to disconnect the board, but then that still means I've got to take the knobs and the top panel off. Would taking the top panel off get me into those switches? No, it wouldn't, because they're actually this side of the chassis. So I literally would have to take the cassette mech out to get to that. Let me have a look. So I've got 2 screws there. This might be easier than I'm thinking. I have had these out before. There's a couple of screws here. Charles, how are you, mate? You're laying in bed in a dark house and start hearing them running about and thinking about Pet Cemetery. What are we talking about, Charles? You haven't got rats, have you? We've had issues with them in the past. Can't quite get into that one. It's in a bit of I think it's number 1 Phillips anyway. That's better. Yeah, if we can just ease this cassette deck out of the way, we can get at the pots then. Disconnect our speaker for a minute. That screw, and that screw for sure, and maybe these 2. 1. Come on, out, monkey. Oh, yeah, I think he's coming. I think she's coming out. Or is she? What else is attached here then? It's not that have we got record playback switches catching on? No, it wants to take that whole lot out. I just want the deck out. I don't want the both boards out. Maybe that screw then. Try more. Okay. No, it needs to come away from that board. Is it that screw? This will be impossible to put back together in a minute. As I say, it's a long time since I took one of these apart. No. I'm not going to get it out without taking the top panel off, I don't think. I'm not going to get it off without taking the top panel off. And how are we doing for time? 6 o'clock. I've got half an hour. I've got time to take it off then. We're going to have to take the top panel off, people. All the little washers here. We're really pulling this apart, aren't we? It's supposed to be a giveaway, look, and I'm pulling it apart. What's going on? See if we can get to these switches in the next 10 minutes. If not, it's something I'm going to have to do. Probably won't be tomorrow. I'll have to crack on with it next week. And 2 screws on this side. One up there. Smaller. One down the bottom. How are we doing? Are we still watching? So we should be able to push the aerial through the grommet. There we go. There's our nice dial plate off. So I can now get to the bolts to take the cassette mech off. Still can't get to the bolts, screws even. So let me just loosen those. It might be that I can put all the others back in now I've undone this. I think I probably can. So if you've downloaded the manual, you're probably shouting at me now. Yeah, it looks like I didn't have to disconnect all of those screws. So let's just put a couple of those in to give it a bit of stability. Won't tighten them up yet. Oh, that's the one that won't go in with a normal screwdriver. Okay. Yep. I'll just undo those two and we're out. Well, I say that, but we've got a load of edge connectors to pull off. Absolute mass of them. I only want to pull it out enough to just try and get into those pots. I think they're sealed pots anyway, so I might not even be able to get into them. Are you going to let me come out enough? That's not tight. That's sort of tight, but it's got a bit of slack on it. Ooh, steady. Let's lay it down that way a minute. There we go. Right. I think I'm going to have to take these edge connectors off this side and then I can flip it up. So, well, they're pretty self-explanatory, but we've got 3, 2, 3, and then there's a big one there. Let's take the big one off first. So this is the giveaway that I've absolutely pulled to pieces. You're back. You had to prepare the lamb for tea. You had to cull it, did you, Pepperidge? Okay, I can probably get away with just that one there, and then we're up and we're in. We're up and in. And yeah, Sod's Law says that the wipers are in underneath. So the cassette deck is out, look, in its entirety. It's got a good Mac on it. It's got needs a pinch roller cleaning. The head looks pretty good. A little bit of wear, but not a lot. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to the switches. I'm going to have to take the board out to get to the pots, I think, unless... See, that one's sort of collapsing on the back. Looks like someone's... That's sort of like... can I pull that apart slightly and get some switch cleaner? I might be able to, actually. There's like little metal plates on the back. I certainly can't get into the volume switch, but... yeah, so I'd have to take all the pots out, drop this board to do them properly. I think I'll do them properly. I'm not going to mess about and pull them about. I'm going to do them properly. So that'll be either another video or I'll do it in the week, one of the two. Let's catch up. What are we talking about now? I think the DVD detector fans used to listen to the local oscillator. They knew what channel you were watching. That's right, yeah. Ace has just finished editing Little Darlings. Just watching too many horror movies and getting a bit of bleed over. Oh, good to hear that, Charles. Shrink wrap, do you think, Simon? So let's just catch up. Preparing his lamb, leg of lamb. A dead one, you assume? Yeah. It's not cruel. Someone's got to do it, Pepperidge. They were alive once. Someone's got to do the job. Got to do the deed, haven't they? You get sick of being preached at the TV. Rarely watch it now. It is a very nice radio. It's now in pieces, but at least I can get at everything and service it now. So I'll have a look over the deck. I don't think I'll need to do too much to the deck because the belt's been done. I just need to check the speed, and I think the speed is probably in this little white thing with the silver bit in underneath that again. So that'll be a job for me next week. But we need to sort out what we need to do to win this radio. So you need to put a keyword in. So what's our keyword? It's got to be RPC1, isn't it? Or should we put GT Jeff? I think we'll put GT Jeff. Now that might clash with Jeff, but Jeff might want to enter. Okay, let's go. Let's do font size increase. No. Add one. So, keyword. GTGEOWF. We'll do it all capitals just to not to confuse everybody. It looks like GTGE off. Okay. If I spelled that right, I can't even see. I've got the screen in front of me now. There we go. GT Jeff. No space, all one word. In the comments of this video. So this video, when it uploads later, you just put GT Jeff in the comments section and you'll get a chance to win it. Now again, it's UK only, but as before, if you are further afield and you still want it and you're happy to pay the difference in postage, then I will send it to you. So that's the only sort of rule really. It's free postage to the UK, but anywhere else you'll need to just pay the difference. And I mean, depending where you are, that could be quite a lot of money. So be careful. All right. I'm trying to think what it is. It does sound well. Actually, you heard Harvey. It does sound very nice. It does sound very, very nice, and it is a very nice radio. I think everybody would like one. I don't think even the die-hard Roberts fans would probably actually quite like a cassette Sovereign, wouldn't they, Paul? As I say, it's better. It's a lot better than mine. And I paid 99 quid for mine and went and picked it up, so I didn't have to have it in the post. I actually went and picked it up. It was somewhere in Devon, so I actually went and got it myself. But it's not in as good nick as this, and now it's been sort of restored. It's worth a lot more than that, definitely. So there you go. That's the keyword to put in today's video, and the draw will be on Christmas Eve, as always. So I'll leave that up on screen for a little bit longer while I get the advent calendars, because I've got to light a fire, do the dishes, cook the tea, and all of that sort of stuff. Might even have to use the Hoover, or the Dyson as it is these days. Do you think Dyson will be the new name for Hoover? Right, let's put a bit of music back on for Thomas. Let's put some of this stuff out the way. I can't really get the cassette deck off the bench. I've got nowhere to put it. I've got a load of cassettes here. They said a bad word then. Wow, you'd excuse me, wouldn't you? You'd let me off. I don't know whether YouTube would, but... So who doesn't want to win the radio? Is there anybody that doesn't want to win it, apart from Jeff, maybe? Jeff might want it back. Right, let's put all these bits back out the way, and then we'll get the massive great radio control car kit underway. I have got so much stuff on this bench, it's unreal. Oh, steady, steady. It will always be Hoover, George, will it? Yeah. Do we even say, Mrs. Cruncher will say, can you put the Hoover around, not can you put the Dyson around? She'll say, can you put the Hoover around? I've drawn blood. Oh no. Oh no. You don't want it, Theo? Why don't you want it? Rolf doesn't want it. Oh, what? You can't be serious. You cannot be serious. Right, let's get our keyword off, and we need number 17. Which is down here. Oh, Merry Christmas to you as well. That's not going to go back in there, is it? Oh well. So we need to get our monster out. Like I say, I've not got a lot of bench space here. I've got cassettes everywhere. I need a bigger workshop. I need a George workshop. Mind you, I expect yours is filled to the brim, George, isn't it? This is the thing. It's always nice and clear and bare when you start. And the more you do, the worse it gets. Right, so it looks like we've got a load of little tiny screws. Let other chaps have a great... Well, that's very kind of... Pardon me, kind of you, Theo. So that your odds of winning have just gone up, look, because Theo's bowed out. You did win a couple things, though, Theo, didn't you? Or at least one. Just send it over. Yeah. Les is saying, got to watch where you put your feet. YouTube don't care about swearing. It's what it depends how you've set your settings up, George, for live streaming. Right, so I've got these two panels. They both got 4 screws in each. So it's got to be what they're for. So where do they go on? I've got it upside down. It's in Australian. No, don't try. Don't try. So it looks like it goes. This is the bonnet. Strange. Is that double-sided? It doesn't really say. Oh, I see. We've got two. We got two choices. We got two choices. So I can either. Where are we? Can't get it in the camera shot. I'll have to put it on its side here. So we can either have this one with the electrical sparks and that on it, which is this design, or we can have the Christmas one. It's going to have to be the Christmas one, isn't it? Of course it is. Of course it is. It's a Christmas present from Rob, so it's going to have the Christmas present one on it. So that just goes on there. Let's just pull that off. Not many days left, people. So it's given me 8 screws. Well, it's given me more than 8 screws. It's given me loads of screws. Now we want the Christmas one. I nearly screwed the other one on then. Okay, so they screw through and into the plastic by the looks of it. Okay. We're getting there. You won a couple of items. Yeah, I think you won the beer, didn't you, Theo? Yours is a Jenga puzzle crossed with a Tetris game. Yeah, this is more like deep rainforest, George, in here. Just so you prop the door open. You usually enter them, Paul. You usually enter them. Beer and a book. Oh, you won the radio and television service in, Theo, did you? So what do you think of the loudest shirt on the planet then? It's it's very festive. There we are. Merry Christmas bonnet. So that's our car done for another day. Let me just get these screws and put them in with the rest of it. Hoping I've got a decent bottom on this box. I've got loads of loose screws in there now. Screws loose. Always got screws loose. Right. So, time for the Weira Advent Calendar. Courtesy of the boss. The boss. And where are we? There we are. Come in number 17 then. Number 17. I tell you what, I'm like right up close to it, but I can never spot these. I can never spot them. Also won something on a mudlark in sight. Did you really, Theo? Ah, lucky, lucky. No, as lucky as old Victor. He's always been fairly good at winning things. Mind you, Mr. Cody's won the signal tracer, didn't he, from Doug? That was an amazing bit of kit. You were wondering if I had one of these shirts to give away, or they're on your merch page. Well, I have actually got someone that's put some merch together, but I've just got to approve the design. Next to his Happy Chops. Right side of the window above the mug. Yeah, there it is. This looks like we could be in Spannerville. This could be a spanner. It's a sort of spanner sized box maybe. Yes, another Joker. Another spanner. So let's get down and get to the only gap on the bench. Let's open up our spanner collection. Stick it in. Probably going to be. Is it going to be that one? Yeah. So we got 10, 11, 12, and 13. So it looks like we've only got one more spanner to go. So we've got the smallest one, the largest one, and one of the middle ones. Yeah, very nice set. That Weira do make some really good tools. Really, really good. If you had to just buy one make and nothing else, if they've got it all, then Weira is the way to go. Not that I'm sponsored by them or anything like that, but yeah. So, what are we doing here? Tracer, yeah. Do you still use that, Paul? You did win the big prize last Christmas, Harvey. That was a cracking radio. I can't get insurance for my radio business. I did have it. I went to renew and they asked me if I sent radios overseas. I said yes, and they said, well, we can't insure you then. And I'm like, okay, what if I don't send radios overseas? He said, too late, you've told us now. So I'm stuffed, really. Wow. Cheers, Mike. We'll see you tomorrow, mate. Harvey won the Hacker Hunter that Mr. Cozy's had recovered in luminescent fabric. It's the one that we had to play about with the tuning cap. I had to shim out the tuning cap and resolder it. What would that cost to ship to Jersey? I'm not sure, Charles. It's quite a hefty thing. It's probably about... So if you look up sort of, say, 6 kilos, 6 kilo package, something like that. Time tomorrow? No, I'm not 100% sure. I was going to go with 3 o'clock, but I might push it forward to 4. So it's not going to be as early as usual tomorrow because, I say, I am doing the Christmas present drop up into Bridgewater. So it's an hour and a half drive each way for us. We've got to go see my dad, Mrs. Cruncher's son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter, and my son, daughter-in-law and grandchildren. So we've got quite a lot to do tomorrow. I'm hoping to try and get it all done in the morning, but as I say, we'd have to leave really early. So I can't see that happening. So I think probably somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock, I think, tomorrow. Get insurance through Lloyd's of London. I went through a broker and they rung their underwriters and they wouldn't insure me Danish. So I really don't understand that, but there you go. Yeah, it is a lovely radio. You've done well to win that, Harvey. That's another expensive radio. This one probably would be more expensive to buy, I would have thought, than the Hunter, but the Hunter was a good giveaway. And that was from Mr. Racing Demon. I believe donated that. Well, let me think. No, it sort of went back and forward, that radio, didn't it? I can't remember whether it did come from Racing Demon. I think it did come from Mike, because Mike gave me the Bush as well that had a bit of a dink. I was going to send that one on to Sean. I must get around to doing that. Don't want another 6 a.m. job. No, definitely won't be leaving that early. So there you are, people. I hope you've enjoyed that today. I've enjoyed playing about with the radio. I didn't expect to have to take it apart, but I have done. I'm going to get those volume and tone pots cleaned, and then I'm going to put it back together. So don't forget, in the comments section of this video, if you want to win this radio, you need to put GT Jeff in the comments section. I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a like, subscribe, all the rest of it, but that's not compulsory. The main thing is GT Jeff in the comments, because Jeff very kindly did that. Welcome, Bill. It's just about what I'm about to go. Thanks, Dwarf. Thanks, everybody. Shipping from France to the UK is cheap for a dinghy post. Oh dear. Right, anyway, I've got to get going. I've gone over a little bit, but not by a lot, so not too bad. So bye for now, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon later. Bye for now.